Ominous tones. That's what you always have to be cautious of. Always be wary of the ominous tone of their voice. It's always scary, deep, dark, and treacherous. They're telling you something. The end of the world's coming. That's it. We're all going to die. It adds to the effect of things. It reinforces and augments the illusion that they're attempting to perpetrate on you. The power of ominous tones it's exponential. To give an example, if you're watching a movie, you're in the theater, you have the visual stimulation, which obviously is the projection of the film itself. And then you have a soundtrack that is incorporated with that visual stimulation. They work tandem with each other. And what this serves to do is this authenticates the experience of the illusion being reality, because what happens is, if, for example, I'll give you a hypothetical, or not hypothetical, I'll give you an example. Watch the movie Halloween with the sound off and tell me how scary it is. Now watch the movie with the sound on and you'll see what I'm talking about, ominous tones. So this is what validates the intensity of the treachery of this. That's why they couple the two together. They work in tandem with each other. One cannot work without the other. Well, sometimes it does, because you have somebody giving you a speech or a message or something with an ominous tone. Like you hear it all the time on YouTube, like the New York State Treasury has just now done the digital dollar and this means the end of the world. Things like this. That's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to scare the living daylights out of you. So you have to recognize this is just one of the deceptive practices that they use, because it always works, because people are basically children. That's why you cling to the matrix for everything. You're not even codependent on it. You're solely dependent upon it for your everything, because you lost all of your natural survival skills. You can't go into the woods and live off the grid. You don't have that ability anymore, because over the generations, it was lost. The indigenous peoples never knew such things as this. They lived off of the land and they gave back to Mother Earth. There was a reciprocity there. What this system does is just takes from the earth and gives nothing in return except garbage and trash and poison and pollution. Human beings are the only species that make all of the other species extinct. Human beings are the only species that rape and destroy and mutilate this planet. There are no other species that do this. There's no other species that poisons the oceans with chemicals and mercury and the air and pollutes the soil. No other species does this except human beings. And no other species in all of Earth's history make any other species go extinct except human beings. It's just your nature. That's just how you are. You're self-destructive. And your destructive tendencies can't be contained. So they know this, and they prey upon that weakness. So if you really think about it, it's like watching a horror movie without the sound. How scary is it? It's not going to be. So it's their ominous tones. The ominous tone of their voice is what is really validating this illusion. Because what you're doing is you're taking your feelings and emotions and you're tethering it to these things. And that is where the validation and the confirmation comes from. That this is real. This is scaring the daylights out of me. Because they're working in tandem with each other. It's up to you to say, I'm not going to be duped. I'm not going to buy into the same silly nonsense they've been perpetrating on me from day one. And they're going to continue to do it, folks. It isn't ever going to stop unless you change. It won't change. Because if it's working, there's no need on their part to modify it or change it. If it's working perfectly well. And it works flawlessly every time. That's why it's always the same old, same old. Every 4 years, a new president or whatever. The elections come up. It's a voting year. Same nonsense. It's all this political bantering and all this nonsense. So just don't buy into it. But things become reality because you make it that. You tether your feelings and emotions. And you refer to your past identity, which is all of your accumulated experiences, your knowledge, which is a resource, an information database that confirms, yes, this is real. I must pay attention to this. I have to be alert. I have to be on guard. I have to just make sure that my family's okay and everybody else stays away because they're doing it to you with their ominous tones. That's exactly what's going on. Like I said in another video, it's not what you say, but how you say it that conveys a completely different message. You could say something in a very pleasing, very approachable and comfortable manner, or you can scare the hell out of somebody saying the same words in a different manner. It's all in the delivery and the cadence of things. So steer clear of their treachery with the ominous tones. It's the end of the world. We're all going to die. Don't you get tired of it after a while? This is what causes you to exist in an atmosphere of fear. The end of the world, apocalypse, doomsday, Armageddon, end of days. Oh my God, the sky's going to fall. Oh no, Godzilla. You know? Doesn't it get sickening after a while? Because they want to keep you trapped in that low density. That's how they can control you down there. By the way, your mind, that is the third dimensional barrier, by the way. That is the third dimensional barrier. Once you can break that by severing your connection to this matrix, you're free. You're into the fourth dimension and beyond, thank God. But anyway, just want to leave you a little quick note that just don't buy into the nonsense of the ominous tones, because they're just trying to scare the hell out of you, man. And that's how they can control you, because they've been doing it since day one.